You're listening to BQN. Assimilate the audio.
Infinite diversity.
Live long and prosper, and welcome to Infinite Diversity, a Star Trek Universe podcast here on the BQN Podcast Collective. I'm your host for today, Thad, and joining me as usual is my co-host, Chrissy. How are you today?
I'm all right. I'm feeling a little antsy about setting a bunch of ensigns who actually haven't finished a year at the academy off to, explore God's know what. But, I think they can handle themselves. It'll be okay.
Well, when there's been a major disaster and we've lost a large part of the fleet, you gotta promote.
Do what you gotta do. How are you doing, Thad?
I'm all right. Changing uniforms because it's a new era, so that's always fun.
They don't have enough. They can't make the comm badges, which we'll talk about. But everybody gets new uniforms. It's fine. It's fine.
Everyone gets new uniforms and they go back to old comm badges, yeah.
With old comm badges, yeah. That explains the reenactors in the Discovery novel. See? They weren't actually doing it wrong. They were portraying this era in history.
They were probably still doing it wrong.
Yes, I know they were doing it wrong.
Also joining us today, coming back to bookend our coverage of Prodigy Season 2, is Abby Sommer from the First Flight podcast. Abby, how are you today?
I am good. And you know what? I said hello and hugged my mother today, so ding, 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 gold star for that one. Thanks for having me back on. It's always such a joy to chat Trek with you guys. And I am excited to talk about all of the things we have to talk about today.
Did you meet your brother that you'd never met before?
Not yet, but I am expecting an unexpected family member at any time. You're always expecting them to pop in. It seems to be happening.
Well, they're no longer unexpected at that point.
Well, true. To expect the unexpected family member at some point in your life.
Before we jump into our topic for the day, we'll take a moment to thank our Patreon patrons who make our show possible, particularly associate producers like Carl Wonders and Chrissie De Clerck-Szilagyi. Listeners, you can hear your name listed as one of our associate producers for a monthly subscription of just $10 at patreon.com/BQN. And with a monthly Patreon subscription of just $5, you can join our BQN Star Trek script table reads, which are a lot of fun. Watch your Patreon messages for more information on these and other fun opportunities with your collective. Alright, so as we are recording this, yesterday was the big Star Trek panel at San Diego Comic-Con, and we got a ton of stuff there. We'll start with probably the least surprising. We got a trailer for the new season of Lower Decks.
Lower Decks.
Indeed, which is coming starting October 24th, which I think is the latest the Lower Decks season has been released, but still the same general time of year. And I noticed they just straight up skipped Star Trek V and went to Undiscovered Country vibes for this trailer.
Yeah, but if this really, and there's no reason to believe it's not going to be the final season because that's what they said, then that makes sense. So
it is important to say it almost certainly will be the final season. They're saying it's the final season, etc. But both Alex Kurtzman and Mike McMahon said that really what matters more than anything else is that we watch it a lot. I believe Alex Kurtzman said watch it at least 3 times. And if enough people watch it a lot, then that may change opinions at Paramount and we might get more. So I have never had problems watching Star Trek Lower Decks over and over and over again. So I highly advise our listeners that you do the same thing. Hey, start now. just show it interest in the show. And when the new season comes out, definitely watch those episodes over and over and over again. And when you're not doing that, you should do the same thing with Prodigy to send a message to Netflix so we can get more of that too.
Absolutely.
And then run it right into Netflix created stuff.
Yes,
and then remember that part. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, that might also apply at Paramount. Once you finish your like 6th rewatch of Lower Decks, I don't know, maybe throw on the Halo show or 1883 or The Good Fight, you know.
The new Dora. In my household, there's the new Dora. Yeah, she's got
Dora.
Dora the
Explorer. And I think there's new SpongeBob SquarePants too.
Probably.
Yeah, there's a movie, I think.
I have heard, and I have not been through all of the chatter, and I'm not in San Diego, obviously, as I sit here in my house talking to you, but I have heard lots of people saying too that they're getting nothing that is spelled out, but the idea that Lower Decks has more routes to go, that there may never be another season of Lower Decks, but there absolutely could be movies, there could be, you know, mini-sodes, there could be all sorts of different things. So I think, especially with, like, people are saying, Mike McMahon looks like he's about ready to burst with something, but he's not, because he can't, because NDAs will smash him. But he doesn't have the aura of someone whose show is coming to its end. So I will take that to heart, whether or not that actually happens. Lord knows, I've been watching Lower Decks in a continuous rewatch since it came out. Like, it's pretty much at the end of my night, I watched an episode or two of Lower Decks. Like, and I just, when I finish, I go back through. And if I feel like a different one, then I stop, I watch that one and come back to it. But it's just kind of continuously on in my life.
Because of how episodic it is, it's the perfect thing for, and not serious it is. It's a perfect thing for just throwing some on. And it is absolutely, of all the new Star Treks, it is the one that I will throw on to watch the most.
Yep. And I laugh every single time, every episode. You know, even Peanut Hamper, which is not my favorite, there are moments in there, if I'm going through, I still laugh. So, you know, there are good things in all of them. And Lower Decks is just, it's so joyous. Like, at its heart, it's joyous, and that's how I want to end my days. So it's been really nice to have that, and I will have 10 more to add into rotation soon, and I'm excited about that. I'm also excited that in the fall, when these come out, they're short, so those of us who don't get screeners and have to get up really early before work don't have to get up like Discovery finale early, because that was a really rough day at school afterwards.
But
oh boy.
Like, I was emotionally drained, and it wasn't even 7 a.m. And I'm like, oh God, it's the last weeks of school.
Yeah, at least you were on summer vacation for Prodigy.
Yes. Oh, well, I would have taken. I had already said I was taking a sick day or a personal day if it came out during the year. Like, just forget that. I don't care what's going on. I don't care if it's testing. I'm just not going to be there. So, you know.
So, yes, it is entirely possible Lower Decks, we could get it in the form of some TV movies, which segues nicely into our next topic. We got the trailer for Section 31, which I will say, if you want Lower Decks TV movies, you should also watch Section 31 several times. And I will say the trailer doesn't tell us much, and...
Chrissy, your face. People can't see this, but her face is saying 1,000 words right now.
You know,
This weekend I was not at San Diego Comic-Con, but I was at the Shore Leave convention here in Pennsylvania, and I was hanging out with friend of the podcast, Alex Perry, and he said, the way he described it, I think, is perfect. He said this trailer is not targeted to Star Trek fans. It is targeted to the general audiences to get people in to watch this. And that's why, as Star Trek fans, we're watching this like, what is this? And why isn't this telling us anything? And and I think that's it exactly. I am looking forward to more information. I see a lot of people... And we have now entered the segment where I get mad at the people on the internet again.
Oh, I did too. I did too with this one.
I see a ton of people saying, oh, this looks terrible, I'm not watching it. And I'm just like, it's a teaser trailer. It gives you no information.
Do you remember 2009 and the first couple trailers we saw from the Kelvinverse? Hello, we've had this maybe they don't. Or Maybe they didn't watch those
The
either.
first one was just the ship being built, remember?
Yes,
Yeah.
and I watched that Enterprise and Space Dock trailer like over and over and over again because I was so excited.
The face I was making, my sister texted me when she saw it, and she's like, "Who decided that Star Trek needed a Suicide Squad?" And that's summed it up beautifully. But I was like, "Yes, this
very good point.
Not for that trailer is not for Trek fans."
Yeah,
just that's it.
I think
so. That's fine. That's fine.
We have to remember that we don't really know most of the characters, but we do know that Rachel Garrett is in it, and
she has blue hair.
Mm-hmm.
And our only other experience with Rachel Garrett is that she is absolutely Starfleet through and through. So I would not immediately tar this with whatever brush you're trying to do. I lost this metaphor, but anyway.
Okay. I think we're seeing that in the trailer because, she says, Starfleet's here to make sure that you're not killing people or something to that effect.
Right.
So,
yeah. And I will also say the Suicide Squad, that first movie was terrible, but the second movie was really good.
Well, let's hope it's not terrible. And here's
the one with John Cena in it was really good. Then
I did see that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Sylvester Stallone as the shark guy. Yes. I really enjoyed that one. And it also gave us the spin-off Peacemaker, which I really enjoyed.
Well,
anyway, sorry.
No, you're good. No, you're good. Here was my thought. First of all, we want new people to love Trek, right? So
absolutely.
This is going to bring new people in, and this is going to catch maybe some of those people who are like, ooh, flashy, ooh, interesting looking, ooh, gadgets, and costumes and jewelry. That's what I squealed over. I'm like, yes, JoJo has more really, really cool clothes. Her jewelry, like every single time, impeccable. Like if they don't sell that, they're so stupid because they've never sold any of her ear stuff, and I would wear them all. But this is appealing to those new people who are coming in, who are going to get grabbed, who then might go, oh, she was on Discovery? Let me go watch Discovery. And those are the people who aren't going to be sitting here going, oh, Star Trek is so woke, blah, 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 because they came in through this movie. And does it have to be our very favorite thing? No. Should we support it? Yes. Do I think this gives us at all what this entire movie is about? No. Trailers, good trailers, don't do that, right? They get you to have a strong reaction. And what we did was we all had a strong reaction. So
I mean, this whole movie isn't going to be her sitting in a nightclub telling the story of her childhood?
Yeah, probably not. But that's intriguing, her childhood. Like,
I might watch that if it was.
It could be. That would be actually kind of interesting. Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I would watch Michelle Yeoh filing her taxes or, washing her dishes. I mean,
reading the phone book. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Folding laundry, weeding the garden, whatever. What's a phone book? Sorry. It took me a second, but I got that in there.
I mumbled. That was on purpose. I don't know. You know what? I've never looked at our demographics. I'm curious. I think probably most of the people that listen to us probably remember a phone book.
I would say yes. Because also I think like the last time I had a phone book delivered was like more recently than you might think. Like they don't anymore, but I think it was in like the last 5 years that it stopped.
Oh wow. Okay.
Although I think it was like basically all yellow pages by the end. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you can get back in the day when you could just look up somebody's last name and get their address and phone number.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, sure.
I mean, even if they do that, it's gonna be only their landline number. So, like, it's gonna be like
everybody's 70.
It's gonna be like an eighth of a. Yes, there we go. It'll be our parents.
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm. This has all reminded me of the Onion article from 2009 came out. Trekkies bash new movie as fun, watchable.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I don't think this is the entire flavor. I think this is one way to spin this story. And like I said, I'm super intrigued about seeing how Giorgio became the emperor and like some of that backstory and all of that woven in. And I think that the actress that they picked to play her, I've never seen her in anything, but just by looks and just by that trailer, she's got the Giorgio stare down. So I am ready to see that. And yeah, I'm excited. I am going to watch it multiple times no matter what, because that's me and that's how I roll. But I will also encourage people who I think might be brought into other Trek by watching something that doesn't look as thinky, maybe as cerebral as a lot of people who in my life who don't watch Trek are like, I don't want to think that much. I'm like, well, why don't you try this one? Not to say that we won't be thinking about it, but that it's got some more of the things that make them more comfortable. It's a gateway. Or maybe it's going to be nothing like this and they marketed it poorly because, that happens too.
Paramount?
It's Paramount.
All of the fun stuff in the trailers. So, we shall see.
Yeah.
So, it's funny though, because people will complain about this trailer not showing anything, and then those same people will complain about how trailers tell you everything these days.
Too much.
Yeah. There's
Which
no
tells you
way.
People just want to complain.
Right. There's no way to make everybody happy. People are going to complain no matter what. And if you really just want to hate watch it, don't.
Hey, hate watching it still counts as minutes.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
So,
My favorite part are people who will see a trailer and say it reveals too much before actually having seen the movie, and they don't actually know if it reveals too much.
Yeah.
Because, no spoilers, but I saw Wolverine and Deadpool this weekend, and the trailer that came out last week, because they had the quote-unquote final trailer, did show a lot of things, and revealed, for instance, that Daphne Keane was in the movie. And I saw a bunch of people saying, oh, this trailer's showing us the whole plot. I can assure you, having seen the movie, that trailer is not showing you the whole plot.
Yeah.
So speaking of people getting mad on the internet, we had the Strange New Worlds clip from season 3.
Yeah.
There's a lot to unpack here.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, first off, I would recommend you see it so you fully understand what we're talking about. But
yes, it's 5 minutes. Pause this. Come back.
Yeah.
Yes.
But apparently, there's some mission that requires a team of 5 Vulcans to go, and they have to be exactly Vulcans to go to a planet and fix something. We don't get the context as to why this happened. And so they inject Pike, Chapel, Uhura, La'an, and Pelia with a serum that turns them into Vulcans. And it doesn't work on Pelia, which was hilarious. She was so mad about it.
I had the same problem with LSD in the 60s. And
last week.
And last
Tuesday.
That was so good.
I love her.
And it doesn't just make them look like Vulcans. It turns them into logical pain in the ass Vulcans. And so, couple things here.
I have issues.
Vulcan logic is not
innate,
genetic.
Yeah.
We have quite a bit of expository canon in Star Trek that explains that Vulcans have to learn that logic. They use logic and discipline to suppress their extremely strong emotional reactions to things.
Which you even get at the beginning of the clip.
Yes.
Yeah.
At the beginning of it. It's the talk about it, and it's like, okay.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Finally, I admit I laughed, but the more I think about it, the implications of this are really... They are basically mocking Spock for being a half Vulcan, to the point that they call the group 4.5 Vulcans. And that's just...
This seems really almost offensive to mixed racial people.
I have seen reactions from mixed racial people who say that it goes beyond almost offensive. It is offensive to them.
Yeah.
And that is perfectly valid. I chuckled at first because I hadn't fully considered all the implications.
If they had done it once.
Yeah.
Not that it's not offensive.
If they had just done that first one when they were just saying logically we are more Vulcan than you. If they had just finished with that, but then the 4.5 Vulcans to beam down, that part. So yeah, like, for one, let's not talk about mixed race people as being part of something, because they are still whole people.
Yeah. So, okay, here's the other thing, too. So, that I'm all in for Vulcan hijinks. Like, we
Absolutely.
especially...
100%.
I love Vulcan
and we can
hijinks.
see this is going to be that
I
episode.
loved Spock Amok. I loved charades.
Yes.
I am sure that, or at least I am very hopeful
This
and
is number 5.
think that this will also be one I really enjoy. And that this out of context doesn't look great, but in the context of the entire episode, I'm hopeful and think that it will probably be something much better.
I think that's a lot of it too. Again, it's judging a piece of something that has been, selected probably because it was going to get a big reaction, right? And it did. We're talking about it. We're sharing it.
Don't know if it got the reaction they were hoping for, but yes.
Well, I think it probably a lot of people watching it right away at San Diego Comic-Con had the same responses because, all right, whatever was in that juice did the magic that the transporter can sometimes do and changes hairdos and stuff too, which is very impressive because
Pike's hair got even taller.
Pike's hair is the best part of the whole thing because it's like a wall, right? It's great. But Uhura's hair, from those beautiful, bountiful curls back to like the tight braids, I'm like, dang, what's in that hypo spray? Can you do my hair every morning, please? Like, that's hours of braiding. I know girls who skip school for a day to get their hair braided. Like, that's impressive. That's impressive right there. And I have to say, the look of all of them as Vulcans was really, really well done. Like, they all...
And that hero walk scene down the hallway?
Yes.
Loved it.
That with the Lirba spinning, like it was that was fantastic. But I also think to myself, okay, this is Kirkovian, right? We know them, yellow, blue. They sometimes are a little wonky. So perhaps what they did wasn't what they expected to do with it, right?
Right.
And I think if they're making them have to be genetically Vulcan, there's a reason. There's a scanner. There's something that's going to blow up if outsiders come in. There's context here that we're missing. This is obviously not the first scene of this episode. And we don't know what the stakes are. And we don't know if this is being played as comedic or heroic. Like, this was supposed to be comedic, but Strange New Worlds does that in serious episodes too. So we don't know yet. Is it what I would
also...
Yeah, go ahead.
What if it's not real?
Oh, what if it's Spock dreaming again?
What if it's like Spock's dream? Because remember that scene,
that would make sense.
The Amok Time style battle was in the trailer for season 1, and a whole bunch of people were talking about that, and then that turned out to be a dream.
And he also had a Lirpa.
Yeah, and that would make sense as why the emphasis on him being half Vulcan.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's where it then no longer becomes the show being racist and becomes Spock dreaming and having his own personal insecurities at play.
Demons.
I like that.
Yeah.
And it's all the people that he's closest to on the ship in there who are turning on him with the more Vulcanness. That really makes sense. Because what if like T'Pring is coming back and it brings up all of his half Vulcan anxieties? And I like that. I really like that a lot. Because that's always been his number one fear with her. So if she's coming back and it triggers all that in him, it could be very interesting.
Good point.
I
hope
that.
That's true.
I really hope that's the case. Or if it's not, that there is some other explanation that works. But just as it is out of context, I can definitely see how this is offensive to a lot of people. But either way, I think it's great that we see that Scotty is sticking around.
Yeah. Well, and obviously we know that a bunch of them made it back from the Gorn ship. Unscathed.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good point.
So,
I mean, we knew that was going to happen anyway,
right,
but yes.
But it is good to know So,
But there were, some of the characters we could have lost because
we could have lost La'an. That's
we
true.
could have lost La'an.
Could have lost La'an. Could have lost the woman at the helm. I can't think of her name.
Una?
I fly the ship.
Oh, Ortegas.
Yeah, we didn't see her in
Ortegas,
this one,
yeah.
so I suppose she could be dead, but she's not dead.
Yeah.
No, she was at the helm.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right. That's right. She was at the
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, look, not dead. Not dead.
Yeah, so that's there. I think those were the two that were suspected. Of course, if it's a dream, then it doesn't matter.
Well, I know Melissa Navia at Trek Long Island said that Ortegas has a lot to do in the season.
Yeah.
So I think
okay.
I'm pretty sure she's not dead.
Then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Good.
So, yeah, I'm still very much looking forward to Strange New Worlds. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I do want to circle back to Lower Decks for a second because there was something I forgot to mention.
Oh, yeah.
The trailer starts with a riff on the Paramount logo, which is the joke from Parth Ferenghi's Heart Place last season, where there's the painting behind Boimler where he's talking about subliminal advertising, and it's to look like the Paramount logo, and I love
perfect.
that.
It's perfect.
Yes.
I love that too.
Yes.
And if we're going to talk about favorite parts of the Lower Decks trailer, can I just say I love that they brought back the decon gel. My little Enterprise lover over here is like, yes, and of course Ransom would be into it. Like, he's waiting to need to use the gel. So I'm excited.
I laughed quite a bit at what crawled up her boob window and died.
Me too. In fact, that's what Chris, my podcast partner, and I immediately sent back and forth to each other after it dropped. We're like, we comment on that all the time. Cleavage-bearing military ensembles, they're a thing in Trek. But boob window totally works.
Mm-hmm. I do love how they mirrored the Undiscovered Country.
Yes.
That original teaser. That is, like, one of my favorite trailers of all time.
Mm-hmm.
And it always hits me real, you know. So that was good.
Well, it's everything you hope a Lower Decks trailer is going to be. It's full of pounds of Easter eggs, which means there's tons of Easter eggs left to come. It's little hints at story. We see Tendy's obviously back in the mix, which feels good. Like, and we see her on Orion, so we know that storyline's getting taken care of. You laughed a few times, you were touched a few times, and you left going, more please. What else can you ask for?
Yeah.
More please.
And I want to say there was someone did an interview or talked to Mike McMahon within the last couple weeks and he said that there are going to be a bunch of there are going to be a bunch of cameos this season that we haven't had before, which makes sense.
Nice.
One can only hope that the Doctor will cameo since he mentioned the Cerritos and Prodigy. I mean, that would be an easy one.
Hey, and that's a great segue.
It is.
Look at how cool I am.
Yeah, you are.
That's a great segue into Starfleet Academy. We got the fully expected announcement that Tilly will be on the show in a recurring guest star role.
Woo!
And also...
It was hard to remember that hadn't been announced already because
I know, right?
It was like...
Yeah, we all knew it.
Mm-hmm.
We also... Admiral Vance will be back.
Yay, Dad!
Which makes sense. So I'm glad for that. Yep.
And apparently, Tig Notaro is back as Jet Reno as main cast. Yes! So she's going to be in every episode.
Bring on the licorice and the quips.
So good. Yes.
And
she's going to be a great professor of engineering.
Oh, she's going to be amazing.
Come on.
And the announcement that I don't think anyone expected.
Yeah.
Robert Picardo is reprising his role as the Doctor in Starfleet Academy. Now, this really brings up the question of whether or not is this the original EMH from Voyager, or is this the one from Living Witness who finally made it home?
And if original Doctor is still around, could it be possible that they meet? Like, could we get both?
I was also thinking about that.
Because
that could also happen.
That would be amazing.
Oh my God, yes.
And it's going into production the end of this summer, so I would expect this show to come out late next year, probably.
Fingers, toes, and everything else crossed.
Yeah, with the way this is set up, so you've got Lower Decks at the end of October. that takes us through the beginning of the year, essentially.
Yeah, and we've got Section
holidays.
31 early 2025 is all we know for sure.
Right.
And then Strange New Worlds probably spring, as it has normally done.
Yeah.
And then this could come in that fall-winter slot that doesn't have anything else in it yet. Yep.
Yeah,
and
Living Witness is one of my absolute favorite episodes.
I love
of Trek,
Living Witness so much.
I show it in class to explain about using source material, as an historian, and it's just, it's fantastic.
Well, and I love that we got something we expected, some things that we hoped and wished for, and something we totally didn't expect. It was like, that was such a gumball machine of delights right there. Plus, well, because you don't ever know what you're going to have come out. And none of them were ones where people went, really? Okay. Everyone was like, yes. It just made it that more exciting. And I don't know if you guys watched it too. Did you see the reaction videos when like the new cast, the younger cast, they got called? I can't remember if it's on the Star Trek YouTube channel or the Paramount Plus YouTube channel, but one of them shows they're actually calling the cast members to tell them that they got the job and recording them. They tell them, we need to see you one more time on camera. Just come in. You don't have to prepare anything, but we just want to see you one more time on camera. So all of them were expecting to, like talk back and forth to somebody for chemistry test or read something or answer some questions. And instead they were told you got the part. Watching them. Oh my God. It was, I cried, and like, I don't know these people yet, but I want to, and I just watching their reactions and how it was so moving, and it's maybe 3 minutes long. So if you haven't seen that, it is such a beautiful little piece of joy. And they're so excited to be doing this. I can't wait to see what they come up with.
Yeah. I was already excited for Academy, especially once they announced Holly Hunter and Paul Giamatti.
Yes.
But now, even more so. Also, I tweeted this when the Robert Picardo news broke. It's like, is the world ready for this much grumpy old guy snark as to have Paul Giamatti and Robert Picardo in the same show?
Yep.
Like, I mean, the only way they could make it more extreme is if they added like Stanley Tucci or something.
Oh my God, that'd be awesome. That would be awesome.
I would watch the three of them just sit in a room and just snark at each other for a while. It'd be great.
Yeah, and plus we've got Jet Reno also.
Oh yeah, she could throw down with all. She'd probably wipe the floor with all three of them because they wouldn't see it coming. Yes. Well, and I know, again, this is Academy. It's taking Star Trek with a new flavor. They're saying this is like Riverdale. This is more like a young adult show. And you know what? People didn't think Prodigy was going to be good because it was a kid's show. And this season of Prodigy is probably one of the most glorious seasons of Trek we have had ever. It's so good. So maybe this is a different flavor. Different doesn't mean bad. Try it, see if you like it, find the nuggets of it, even if it's not your very favorite thing, even if it doesn't become core to your Star Trek identity, it's out there and somebody is going to find it and love it, and it's going to introduce them to everything, to this whole new world, It's got to be out there, and I can't wait. The sets sound amazing. The casting is amazing. We know with Tawny Newsome in the writer's room, they're in good, loving hands. Bring it on. Bring it on.
And all I'll say is I actually once binged like 3 seasons of Riverdale over the course of a week. So like that sort of thing can get engrossing.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, they're popular for
I wouldn't necessarily have called it good, but I did enjoy it.
Brain candy.
Every now and then you need different flavors. Like I was talking to a friend of mine. She's like, I read this really good book, and she hands it to me, and it's about World War II. And I'm like, gotta wait on this one for a little bit. Just finished a World War II book. I can't do those in close succession. I need something to cleanse the palate in between, So that's why I watch Lower Decks before I go to bed. It's such a nice palate cleanser. So you know what? It's not a bad thing to have options. I'm ready. And as an educator, I'm excited to see what I hope will be Trek really doing education justice, because they're kind of up and down with teachers and schooling and stuff like that. So I would like to see some more realistic and consistent. ideas of what school looks like in the Trek world. So that'll be fun for me too.
Yeah.
I hope we're not disappointed on that.
I know.
Yeah.
And we got more show information about a show that none of us knew was happening. I was not expecting a brand new show announcement.
No.
So if you follow Star Trek ship posting on Facebook, right? The infamous, there was some chatter about this earlier this week. Apparently one of the admins talked to somebody who knew about this, and there was a little blurb in an article, and they posted about it. And I went, that doesn't make any sense. A live action Star Trek comedy. What? You know?
It's coming.
Well,
yeah.
What
I'm not saying this is going to be bad.
Right.
No negativity here. Just like, where did that come from? Yeah, go ahead.
I think it's, again, looking for different flavors and looking for different ways to get people in. Because what I heard is that this is kind of going to be like they're on a vacation planet, which everyone thinks Risa, but it could be many places, right?
They say they're Federation outsiders, so I'm thinking it's not Risa.
That's
Federation outsiders serving a gleaming resort planet who find out their day-to-day exploits are being broadcast to the entire quadrant.
That tells me Ferengi.
Yeah. So it's Star Trek
Ferengi are totally doing Big Brother or Love Island or, one of those reality shows. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, and if not Ferengi, somebody Ferengi-like, right? Like this is going to be something like that. And then and again, because I know Tawny Newsome, because her partner, whose name I'm blanking on, did Dear White People. I trust that they're going to find the right tone for this. And I mean, it could be a whole season of them figuring out that they're live, and then how they start to subvert it and all that. I think this has a lot of potential because I feel like I can hear those two people, like in the writer's room, just going back and forth and just, building and improvising off of each other, and suddenly going, oh wait, this might actually work. And then chewing on it for a little bit and then presenting it and going, look, because people love the Lower Decks comedy. They like Strange New World when it gets funny. Let's do something that's funny on purpose. And let's set it in this era where they have the potential for cameos. And, there's a lot in there. So,
oh, yeah.
I mean, the Enterprise E could roll up. The G could roll up. Like, you never know.
Imagine the episode where Riker and Troy visit this planet. I mean, this could be amazing.
There could be a ton of people could show up here.
Depending on when this is set, on the not funny side of things, we could actually get the Picard and Crusher breakup.
We could.
Although I think they said that was Risa. But
wow, I had not considered that. Okay.
We could.
I don't know why that popped in my head, but there you go.
Jack and Beverly's exploits as, medical humanitarians. There are so many things. Setting it then and putting it with people who I find genuinely clever, funny, and knowing that Tawny is an encyclopedia of our nerddom, I have faith that this is going to be something that may not become one of my core Trek personality traits, I think it's going to be fun. And I'll watch anything that Tawny touches because it's amazing.
Absolutely.
Anything. She makes me feel good that we are in good hands for the future of Trek if she is part of the people who are helping guide its direction.
Yeah.
Yeah. To quote Alex Perry again, he tweeted about this and said that, and I apologize for constantly taking your lines, Alex, but you just have such good ones. He said,
"Hey, you're crediting him, so it's fine."
Yeah, Tawny Newsome is a once in a generation talent, and the fact that so much of that talent is being directed towards Star Trek is an absolute blessing.
Yes,
and I could not possibly say it better.
Yeah, you could say it in an English accent and sound more like Alex, but. No, that is perfectly put. And, this was a surprise. And I was talking to some people that were like, oh my God, we got so much stuff. What left is there for like STLV and Star Trek Day? And I'm like, well, STLV isn't official. We're not getting a bunch of stuff.
We don't get announcements at STLV.
No, I'm like, but there's plenty for Star Trek Day. Like they can send, there's definitely more Lower Deck stuff that's going to come out because that'll be, 6-7 weeks before. So
Also, if Academy is starting production
Correct.
before the end of summer, they might have something they could do for a Academy teaser for Star Trek Day.
Yeah.
I think like what they did with Strange New Worlds, where they say, hi, this is who I am and this is the character I'm playing. And like you just get these little moments real quick. And then
maybe we'll get a more expository trailer for Section 31 as well.
I think we might.
That'd be good.
That would be the right day for that audience. I mean, San Diego Comic-Con likes stuff that blows up, so that was the right time for that trailer. Our trailer comes on Star Trek Day. Please.
I think there's also a good chance we'll get a trailer for Strange New Worlds.
At least a teaser.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah.
All right. So that's all the new show news we have. Prodigy Season 2. The Prodigy panel just happened as we are recording this now. Prodigy Season 2 is coming out on Blu-ray in November, so that's exciting. I assume it's all 20 episodes at once, so that means it's going to look funky on my shelf with the half full, but
or just wait until it's a box set of both seasons,
But I've already got the first and second halves of Season 1, so...
Okay, that's true.
Support Prodigy, buy it in every form, every package.
That's true.
There you go.
You can afford.
Also, speaking
you
of
can
buying
afford,
Prodigy in
yes.
multiple forms, if you are one of the people that does not want to pay for Netflix for whatever reason, it is coming to digital purchase on all the usual storefronts. It will already be out by the time this episode is out. So yeah, go ahead, buy it on iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, etc., and it's there. I do not know if that means internationally, including countries where it is not currently available for streaming. But
we're hoping for you, Canada. We're hoping.
Or at least have SCTV tell Canadians when the show's finally coming.
Yeah.
Hey, Thad from the future here. Just wanted to say that, yes, it looks like digital purchases are available in Canada. So, for Canadian listeners, if you would like to watch Prodigy Season 2, you can purchase it on iTunes, Amazon, and all the other various digital storefronts.
And lastly, there was that Doctor Who Star Trek collaboration panel between... with Alex Kurtzman and Russell T. Davies. They basically just talked for an hour about how much they like each other's work and the whatnot, and that's fine. That's all well and good. And it turns out the only collaboration for now that we're getting... there was a really cool poster.
There was a cool poster.
They handed out to that poster. I have thankfully, I have connections and someone picked one up for me. I'm so excited. And my connections are I have friends at the con. It's not like anything exciting.
Oh, yeah,
Those are good connections.
Yeah.
Yeah, and because it was by Dusty Abell, who did those really good TOS and TNG character posters with a character from every episode several years ago.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and it's just a bunch of the Doctors with Star Trek characters. What I love is Sylvester McCoy is not on it. Instead, they have Bones holding the Seventh Doctor's umbrella.
Nice.
That's funny. That's funny.
Because they still have a Dr. McCoy on there, just not, that one.
That is clever. Very clever.
And there is a mobile game, which will include Doctor Who and Star Trek characters together in a mashup. My understanding from unspecified sources that I cannot name, who may or may not be right, is that there is nothing official, but both Kurtzman and Davies are interested in doing something more. So I think it's possible we'll get something at a later date. And one thing... and this is the last time I'm going to take something from Alex Perry, I promise. But
Don't make promises you can't keep. Last time today.
Yes, that's what I meant. Because, as again, I was hanging out with him yesterday because when all this news was happening. So he said he's posited something that he has a theory that I think is really good. Yeah, this is not something that anyone knows. This is just a theory that Alex has of something that could happen. Like there's no evidence to back this up. It's just a cool idea he had. Is that rather than a straight crossover where Star Trek visits the Doctor Who or Doctor Who visits the Star Trek universe, what if the TARDIS materializes in 21st century Toronto at the sets?
Ooh.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And it's like there's like some alien doing some sort of mischief.
And it's hard to tell because they all look like aliens.
And Anson Mount playing Captain Pike.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, that would be
that would be awesome. That's a great idea.
Yeah, I think that could work well, and it would get rid of some of the possible canonical issues if like Doctor Who is made real in Star Trek.
Everybody leave England.
We know.
Like, it is not a good place to live. The aliens are always there.
Except when they're here.
Or in Gotham City.
And
we do know that Trek exists. So, like, having the Doctor show up on a Star Trek set is perfect within the context of Doctor Who as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. It perfectly aligns with the throwaway line that he had in an episode this season where he said, "Hey, we should go visit them."
Yes.
He maybe didn't mean the actual Enterprise.
Right.
He means
the production.
And taking Alex's idea a little step further, I had a thought later about that. What if it's not the Strange New World set? What if it's Hollywood in 1967 and Paul Wesley is playing William Shatner and Ethan Peck is playing Leonard Nimoy and
oh my god, I love that.
That would be amazing.
It won't be that good. It won't be.
No, but
or they'll just animate everybody and put them on actual Lower Decks since they kind of did half the work for the mobile game.
That's also possible.
Yeah. And that could be also really, especially with this newest iteration of the Doctor.
What if that's what we'll see Lower Decks in the future is animated Doctor Who thing?
Oh, that would be fun.
You know what would be awesome with that is that they could, if it's all animated, they could hop around to any of the treks.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they could.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I played the Lower Decks game, and it came up with this, incoming. I don't know if you can see the picture.
Yeah.
Okay, so it looks like, on first glance, the silhouettes look like live action Mariner and Boimler.
Yeah,
but it's actually the 10th Doctor and
River.
River Song.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so then I was like, yesterday I was refreshing the game a lot because I'm like, oh, when is this we're going to find out what's going to happen. And then it was like, Star Trek and Doctor Who are coming together for intergalactic friendship. Learn more here. And then you hit the learn more here. And it took me to the option to download the Doctor Who game.
Oh.
So they're not actually coming to this game. It's just the other game.
I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, it might be both, but it just was, I was like, really? That's it? Okay. But maybe there'll be more. So.
Yeah, so I think there will be more. It's just nothing has been finalized, and they can't announce anything. But I think the fact that both Russell T Davies and Alex Kurtzman want to do it means that it will probably happen at some point.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they just started the panel. Yeah. Maybe they just started this panel to be an every year panel. So in like 3 years, when whatever the kernel of the idea that they have comes to fruition, everyone will have ignored this panel and they'll be like, hey, guess what? Surprise. We actually have news this year.
Works too. That works too.
That is certainly a possibility.
I love all of that. Make it all happen.
Well, and we know Doctor Who does great things with audio dramas too. Like they fill in a whole bunch of holes with audio dramas. So maybe that's where it goes. Maybe Star Trek's done some cool audio dramas like that then become novels or never actually. But I mean, there's a lot of potential out there. I mean, we could be listening to a podcast between the two of them that's just continues. We could listen to a Lower Decks podcast. It could be, 10-minute drop once a week, somebody's log or like somebody's recording or something. There's a lot of ways that this could go. And short form audio is obviously a thing. Short form video is obviously a thing. Like maybe we're thinking really forward. We're thinking about who's going to be us in 30 years and how are they going to be sharing their love of this franchise in 30 years.
Right.
Yeah. Interesting.
All right. Well, speaking of this franchise that we love, an hour and 15 minutes into this, let's talk about the show that this podcast is about.
We've only been recording for an hour and 2. Come on now.
I think that's reasonable for the amount of news we got.
Yes, that was a lot, and we didn't expect that, but that's okay. Like, I am never sad when there is this amount of Star Trek news to talk about, and it's not because somebody passed. Like, you know, because that's another time you get ramped up news, and I'm like, that's a sad one. These are happy and hopeful things. So
yes,
bravo.
All right, Star Trek Prodigy Season 2, episodes 19 and 20, Ouroboros. Abby, what'd you think about the Prodigy season finale?
Oh, I think they hit it out of the park. I think they landed this season beautifully. I think it wrapped up a lot of complicated storylines. I think it brought a lot of character growth. I got touched. I think I've watched these two 6 times at this point because they're beautiful, right? Like all of the parts that make Prodigy amazing happen in these 2 episodes. You have the absolutely incredible visuals. You have the absolutely breathtakingly gorgeous score, and you have really good story that finishes this chapter and adds what will either become an epilogue or a prologue, depending on how life goes down. But it feels complete. Yeah. Like, I do not want this to be where Prodigy ends, but if it does, it would be okay, because it had an ending that felt satisfying. And I have to tell you, as watching this with my kids, it was incredible. It was like a roller coaster, and it was really, really nicely done for all the ages and all the levels of Trek fandom. So I love these 2 episodes. I am not sad that I watched them 6 times. I'm pretty sure I'll watch them many more. So. And I'm glad I get to talk about them more, because there's some really good moments in these.
Oh yeah.
Chrissy, what'd you think?
Yeah, I liked them. Like, I don't think I can be as effusive as Abby. I have not watched them quite so many times, but I think they did an excellent job of bringing things all back together and making it work, and in a purely Trek way. Oh, I forgot to fill that in on the outline. It's a self-something paradox, and I was going to look that up.
Self-fulfilling?
No. Self-fulfilling. Is that what the 2 guys say to, because they ask Cisco,
a predestination paradox?
Predestination paradox, thank you. So it's a predestination paradox. Yeah. Anyway, so I love that. It's Super Trek, and I think we have a good.
It's not a joke. We don't like those.
Exactly. We need them. We need some. Maybe they'll show up.
So it took me like 15 years to realize that Dolmer and Luxley were anagrams of Mulder and Scully.
Yeah,
it's cute.
That was one I got right away because it was in one of the magazines. I was totally nerding out about it because I was like, oh, it's the X-Files and Star Trek meet. I'm still mad that the FBI guy in season 2 of Picard wasn't.
Me too.
I know.
That was wasted. That was a wasted opportunity.
Like, why would you cast the same guy who played a time agent if you weren't gonna?
Every time I watch season 2 of Picard, I find more I like and more opportunities wasted. Like, means there's many threads to pick up on in later seasons when we get our temporal Cold War series down the line. Yes. We'll come back to that. He's like a double agent.
When we get Star Trek Kovich.
Yes, which that would be the mini series we should do. 6 like standalone episodes of Kovich just doing Kovich-y stuff, and like the transition from Daniels to Kovich, right? Each one could be a century. He's been around for a while. So
he's been around for a while. Yeah.
Maybe
Never mind,
not.
I was about to
Well,
say something.
whatever.
I was about to say something that didn't make sense, but no. Yeah. Make it happen. I wish. It would have
been cool if he had a cameo in Prodigy.
Yeah.
That would have been. He might yet. We might get another season. You know, it's
or a movie.
It's left. Yeah. I mean, it's open.
I'd say a movie is probably more likely.
I think so too.
Yeah, and you're right there.
Whatever the thing they need to be together for later. Yeah, kid shows do that all the time. I mean, look at Paw Patrol, which is not my favorite, but they've had multiple direct-to-streaming movies, and they have done stupidly well. If Paw Patrol can do it.
Yeah, so it's a predestination paradox. I love that. Yeah, we'll get into it as we go. I loved all the little, some really good one-liners in there too, and really good moments. Yeah.
Dad, did you give us your impressions?
I loved it.
There you go.
Y'all said a lot, and all I can really add to that is I loved it. I will say, like, when we got to the end, because I'm not really, they are 2 episodes, but I'm really just considering it 1.
It feels weird to break this one in 2 because when you break it, like, I get it. But then the first part is the end of, like, sort of mostly the Essentia stuff. And then you've got, like, half of the next episode that's wrapping up the loom. And then half of it that's, like, and then later. So it does feel just like one big episode because there wasn't enough wrap up in part 2 to make that feel like a full episode. But the entire 2-part feels very cohesive.
But I will say the wrap up in part 2, the part that blew me away the first time I saw it was I was not expecting them to tie it into Picard.
No, not at all. No. I think we talked about that when we talked about the first episodes. Yeah, like that is heavy stuff for small people, and that's not where you would expect the audience who you're trying to reach for the first time to go to next. Like, that's not like, you love Prodigy? Watch Picard. No. No. There's some other stuff first.
Maybe don't show your 6-year-old Picard just yet.
No.
There's going to be some parts of that are going to be a little too much for them, I think.
Yeah.
But you can show them the short track.
Yeah.
That's good.
That is heartbreaking, too, for little people. Like, they lost their parents.
And you can show them TNG.
Yes, absolutely.
And say that's what builds to Picard. Yeah.
Well, and we went back and watched a lot of Wesley in my house afterwards. Like, they watched Remember Me for the first time because I'm like, what do I want to show them that is like Wesley in his... I'm like, this is the first time that he does it on purpose. Like, this is where you see the Traveler, like all that. And Beverly is just so amazing in that episode. And my little one sitting next to me at one point looks and she goes, she's going to have to get sucked into that time vortex, isn't she? And I'm like, yeah, well, maybe. So she's already picking up on it, but that's the kind of stuff
Logical
that's really fun.
Thinking, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. And now I'm just thinking of in Those Little Scientists, remember me?
Yeah, that's one of the best lines. It's so funny. But yeah, we went back and did Wesley. We've gone back. We've done a lot of like Janeway and Chakotay over the years between seasons, seeing like that relationship and how they're built up. And I had not shown them Tattoo. I don't know that I'm going to still. Like, I mean, it connects, but
no one needs to watch Tattoo.
No, nobody does.
That one's hard for me. It's better than The Fight. I'll give you that.
That is such a low bar. It's like Subterranean.
Come on now. Both of those are better than Code of Honor. So, like, if we're getting Subterranean.
Yeah, but I don't think there's a Voyager episode that's worse than The Fight.
Yeah? I could stand behind that. I could stand behind that.
Yeah.
Which, honestly, is to Voyager's credit. There is no overtly, heavily racist episode of Voyager. They definitely delve a little too much with the fake Native American stuff.
And Alana being half Klingon has some moments in there talking about being mixed. But...
Yes. But there's nothing like Code of Honor, and there's nothing... and similarly, there's nothing like Prophet and Lace in Voyager either.
Yeah.
So, to give Voyager's credit, their worst episode is just boring.
And it is that's the one with Boothby in it, right?
Yes,
too?
the boxing episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So it is actually there's a bit of redeeming quality there because Boothby's in it.
I think it was that actor's last credit because I think he died not long after that.
Yeah.
Well, okay, there's a shining light in the middle of the fight, but there's not much else. The special effects were cool at the time. They don't hold up anymore.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, back to things that are going to hold up in 30 years. Prodigy season 2.
Yes.
Absolutely.
For sure. For sure.
If we're, still alive and civilization hasn't collapsed and we can still watch digital television in 30 years, then yes, Prodigy will still be popular.
If more people watch Prodigy now, they'll have the right attitudes and hopeful views of the future to get us there in 30 years to still have the ability to watch it on digital TV.
Good point.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a hopeful show. That's one of the things that I really like about this is that it was definitely an emotional roller coaster watching this season with my girls. It was definitely, there were intense, scary moments. There were sad moments. Like they felt when they found a Dreek in there, like they felt that they feel for all these people. But at the end, it is hopeful and joyous and, be bold. That's the message I want the world to have. I mean, come on, if we all lived Star Trek values, the world would be a little bit better place.
There you go with wishful thinking.
I know.
Reasonable thought. And what's gotten India?
Yeah. All right. So in these episodes, we've got we're doing the final showdown with Essentia. She opens all these time rifts, and that's going to be our clue to be able to send the protostar back to where it needs to be so that Gwyn doesn't disappear.
And I've heard a couple of people say that they thought she was too mustache twirly villain at the end here, but I think, okay, first of all, this is a kid's show, right? Mm-hmm. And you need a level of that. Think about any of your superhero movie villains. That's why we can say mustache twirling villain and know what it means, right? But they also had to show her reaching that level of desperation and that she did everything that she could to the, point of burning herself out later, that she was ready to rip apart subspace to get what she wanted. She had crossed that line, and that had to be really obvious for the kids. So I'm really glad these 2 episodes, I mean, we've seen her do a whole bunch of stuff before this. She is not a good guy, but this is that where you go, oh, she doesn't even make sense anymore. Like she has lost it to the people who used to believe in her kind of thing.
Yep.
So that's an important distinction for kids to see and know for what comes for the rest of this episode.
Right. And that helps with the Valnicott Revolution as well, because it shows that it shows the people in Valnicott that they need to resist today, resist tomorrow, etc., etc.
Yep.
I don't have the lines down, but you know what I'm saying.
Well, fighting fascism is a full-time job, so
fighting fascism is a full-time job.
Yep.
That's one of the most useful Lower Decks quotes ever. That's why we need more Lower Decks, because things like that need to be in the world more often. But yes, the resistance was beautiful too, and to see young Essentia rising up against older Essentia, that is powerful too, because that is one of the things that my little one really thinks about stuff, and then she comes to me like days later and asks these questions, and then she's like, well, that means Essentia doesn't have to be bad, right? Because it's a time loop. And I'm like, yeah, she can make different choices. She saw, exactly. I'm like, neither one of them has to be the way they were. They've seen what the consequences and the results of some of their choices are, and they've gotten a peek so they can do something different. Isn't that amazing? Like you can come back from mistakes like that. That's such a theme of this whole season. And I love that it's there too. Like yeah. And the Valnicott are so beautifully done. Like, their design still 20 episodes later, I'm still like, yes, the Valnicott stuff is gorgeous. Even Essentia's evil wormhole machines are really cool looking.
Yeah. I've said this in some of our earlier episodes, but I love that it shows that Essentia and the Diviner don't have to be who they become in the original timeline.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, it also warns people. It warns you. It only takes a series of small steps before you don't recognize yourself anymore. And that's powerful too. Like, to look at something and go, how did I ever get there? But know that you have the potential to get there, and to be horrified by that. It lets you check yourself a little bit in there too, and go, am I making a series of bad decisions here that can I come back from this? How am I going to come back from this? So that's also a powerful message.
So we need to find out what there's all sorts of science, because we got to figure out when and where and which portal to go back to send the protostar to the right time, because we don't actually know when the protostar gets to Tarslomora.
This is such a good scene. Like, this is rehashing and plot exposition done in a way that makes sense in world and to us. It's re-explaining, like, if you happen to drop in here, it's telling you the important things that you need to know without having seen this stuff before. It is showing them being really complementary, working well together, bouncing ideas, even if they're saying, like, I don't think this is going to work to each other. They're doing it in a respectful way. They're saying to keep their minds open. The graphics are gorgeous. Like, I love this scene. And Rock is so flippin' smart. I could not love that more. I love that she saves the day over and over and over and over. Like, she is amazing. Like, that's a character I need to see more of. Like, I want to know what happens to her in 20, 30 years, because she's going to do incredible things. Her and Wesley are fun together. Her and Magella are fun together too. Like, when the Vulcan is taking what you said and narrowing it down to make it make more sense. Yeah, that's fun.
And Chakotay remembers yet one more old Maquis trick, which I thought was great, because that was always a thing throughout Voyager. He's like, oh, I've got an old Maquis trick that does this or that. And
well, in the Delta Quadrant,
nice
all the old tricks are new tricks again.
Yep.
Yes, it is.
So yeah, we go down to the planet, and we're gonna try to solve this.
Okay, this is where one of the best Jankum Pog lines of all time comes in. Where he's like, they beamed us here, and we got to put it way up there. Well, that's inconvenient. I laughed so hard. My whole family laughed.
Subtle.
Like, yeah, that is inconvenient, isn't it? You got transported, but not to where you needed to go. Like, it was just perfect. Because had somebody not called it out, it would have been everybody going like, really? Why? But like, just the fact that he did that one little throwaway line, and it added levity to a really tense situation too. So that perfect, absolutely perfect. That will live rent free in my head forever now. Well, that's inconvenient.
Yep, and they've got to climb 20 levels up.
Yeah.
Oof.
Oh, but Murph picking up Jankum was like the sweetest thing ever. And that's, my girls were both going, just have Murph. Oh, Murph did pick him up. And I'm like, yeah, see, it's good to have Murph around. But I do also wonder, why didn't Murph do the same for Gwyn once he got Jankum up there? Because she was having a hard time staying, present and not phasing in and out. He could have zipped her up real quick too, but plot.
Yes.
So yeah, and I love too when we see Janeway show up and Essentia gets to pound her fist on her console and go, Janeway, with that like wonderful villain. It made me think back to like all the Bond movies. Like Inspector Gadget, what's his name? Dr. Claw used to do the same thing, pound on a panel with the close-up. And just say the name. I'm like, oh, that is so kids movies and TV right there. The bad guy just cursing the name because they can't swear, so they just say their name with lots of emphasis. And I was like, oh, that's perfect. Perfect.
Yeah. So we've got so Gwyn's gonna have to fight to hold off Essentia while the others do their climb and solve this. And we've got more glowy heads.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you know what? My little one, who I think I told you this back at the beginning, she was so worried when Essentia took Gwyn's heirloom. So she turns to me and she goes, we're at the end. Is she finally going to get her heirloom back? And I was like, yeah, she is. Because she's been worried about that the entire season. And the heads start glowing and they start having the battle. And she's like, all right, well, it's about time now. I'm like, yeah, it is. It is.
She's not wrong.
No, she's not wrong. And she never let that go. Never dropped that, which I think is That's very her, though. She picks up on like key things because Gwyn was always, it was helpful to her. It was like, you know, a comfort thing. It was always there. She could use it to do a million things. And it would have been interesting to see how different some of the situations they'd found themselves in this season would have been had she had the heirloom with her. Like, I'm thinking about the tribbles. That could have been a really interesting thing. So, but she was very happy when eventually she got it back. She was like, oh, you can see her little shoulders go down. Like, things are right with the universe now.
Yeah. And then we've got the really cool fight between Murph and a Dreadnought.
Yes. Well, I love that animation lets them do stuff with Murph that would be, I mean, it would end up being CGI'd in real stuff too, but they play with him. They let him do the things that would make sense, but also are just so kid friendly. It makes it feel less like Murph just killed and beheaded Dreadnought, which is intense when you think about it spelled out like that. But it was, you know, Murph kicked him in the face a bunch of times and knocked him around, and they flung each other back and forth, and then they fell into some fog, and here's his helmet. Like, it softens that for the kids, but they still, I mean, Murph gets tossed around a bit. He doesn't, it's not like his usual, I can take care of this in 10 seconds. There's a real struggle. Yeah. So it had that gravitas without being so scary. Like, Dreadnought wasn't the scary thing this season. That was the loom. Dreadnought was scary last season. Yeah. This season, he's aggravating and in the way, but like, we've seen Dreadnoughts be defeated. So this was good. Save the scary for the loom, because dang, they are. Yeah.
And we didn't even see him then. I mean, not close up for this one, but they were almost scarier in this one when we saw them.
They're just bumping into the ship later on. I'm like, oh, that's so creepy. But.
So yeah, then with the final fight, when Gwyn finally gets the heirloom back, it's because all of the other Valnicott are glowing their heads to make her head glow the brightest, and whoever's head glows the brightest is gonna win.
Well, her eyes glowed really bright after that too, like two little searchlights. But
yeah, that looked kind of scary.
Well, I can tell you that was the part where both of my girls teared up. When the Valnicott came behind Gwyn, they were just like, yes, give it to Gwyn, and like, they're just tearing up, and they're like, oh, she's doing it, she's glowing, she's okay, she got it back. Like, there are all these reactions just coming out of them. And then when Essentia does that final push, and she, like, I guess burns herself out, looks all ashy and black and everything, they look and they go, is she dead? I'm like, no, she's not dead. She just can't use any of her powers anymore. And then my little one looks and goes, now she looks sad. And I was like, yeah, she is, for so many reasons. And we have talked about that scene and that moment probably more than any of the other ones, talking about why they did that for Gwyn. What does it mean? What happened to Essentia? There's a lot of processing there, but it's all good. And it shows that power of people believing in something and working together, you know, that such a good message and beautiful. Like, I need to know how Valnicott work. We talked about this last time. I want to know about the heirlooms. I want to know about the glowy faces. I want to know about the energy transference abilities. Yeah.
I need the novel that dives deep into the history of the Valnicott and explains everything. Yeah.
Yes.
See, more miniseries. Star Trek Valnicott, Star Trek Kovich, Star Trek Denobula. I would like to see their family structures and cities. You know, we could do this forever. Yeah. So I think we skipped over the scene I wanted to talk about real quick, though, about Chakotay and Janeway arguing like a married, Hollow Janeway, arguing like the married couple that they are at this point after 10 years together. Yeah. Like, I've had that fight, you know, where you're talking about something, but you're really talking about something else. Like, we've all been there. And I loved that these moments were in there, too, because my girls, like Admiral Janeway, they love Hollow Janeway. Like, they spent a whole season loving her and like seeing her back now in a different way. And like, when she's saying, you can't take me, my program's too big. And Chakotay goes, we'll find a way. We always do. And then my older one goes, yeah, we tried that too last season. Like, she didn't believe that it was going to happen. She was afraid they were going to, you know, lose Janeway again. And that was a moment to see the grown-ups or like the mentors, the people in charge, having a vulnerable moment. And I think that's really important in kids shows too. Like, you want them to feel seen and have like their points of view and all that, but to see grownups really talking about their emotions and being vulnerable and talking about their fear of being lost and memories and all that. That is really a moving moment. And it seems so silly because it's just bickering, but it's not. There's a lot more behind it. And then when it comes around again later, when they find out that they did back her up, like, again, tears, like, just perfection there. Because as we all know, holograms can be just as important of characters, and you can have just as real of feelings for them as anyone else. So that was I didn't want to skip over that little bit because it was really well done.
It was, and not what I was genuinely surprised by that.
Yeah. I like Chakotay so much more in Prodigy than I do in Voyager.
Yes. I think Prodigy is Chakotay's at his best.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's some of Beltran's best work as Chakotay.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's some of the best we're seeing of the character.
Yeah. Yeah. I even like Grumpy Chakotay, not just because I think the beard's an improvement. Like, I like seeing that whole part of him. He's got more depth than he ever had before. And these little scenes back and forth like that show that too. He was already thinking ahead about, backing her up. So, though I do wonder, okay, later on, when she's backed up and the doctor says she just finished downloading, does that mean that the conversation they just had about her downloading isn't in her memories on the disc? Like, because then she would wake up and be like, what went on? Because she didn't realize that he had saved her because that hadn't been saved. Do you know what I mean? The timing of that?
Yeah.
I mean,
But
it would
I feel
just
like
be
that's an
disorienting.
easy
It's a
fix. You just
it's a
have to
minor
explain
thing,
it.
but I
Yeah.
did think about it after, like, the fourth time or whatever. I was like, wait a minute. She's not going to remember this conversation, is she? Because unless she's continually
true.
backing up, but they said they finished it and he held up the thing. So, I mean, this is not a big deal, but it's the things you think about after multiple watches of the show.
Right.
No, I got you.
That makes sense. All right. Well, that appears to be the end of part 1. All we've got we've got the cliffhanger where the Loom arrive, and they should not be here yet. So
no, Wesley has not been on top of things this.
Yeah, for
this time
someone
around, I feel
who
like.
is supposed to be aware of everything that happens everywhere in all time, he's kind of dropping the ball a little bit.
Well, he did get his brain fried. So,
yeah, I suppose.
Anybody else, he would have been dead. So he's less than 24 hours from getting his brain sucked out by Essentia. So I will give him a little leeway he probably has a really rockin' migraine going on right now too, and he's trying to save the universe at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Reasonable.
Yeah, okay.
See, he's who needs to show up in the new Doctor Who cartoon.
Yes.
They've talked a million times about him being a Time Lord, and he kind of is. So that would be fantastic. I would watch 15 and Wesley travel the galaxy.
Watch it be what I was saying, where they visit the set, and then we just think it's going to be 21st Century Earth, and then at the very end, like, Wesley shows up and is like, you did a great job, or something like that.
Oh, that'd be great.
That would be really cool. I love it. We throw so many, like, great ideas out into the universe. One of these days, one of them's going to come back.
Alex Grossman, if you're listening, you're welcome to use any of this.
For
free.
Please.
We just want to watch
all
it.
All we ask is a chance to interview you for an hour. That's all we want. Even half an hour.
And, if a cameo is possible.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. That's what I'm asking. You're right. That's the thing to ask for.
Hey, Alex, I'll just take screeners. Like, I'll be the easy one.
Yeah, I mean, I've already got that. So
yeah,
it's
I know.
Dig a little deeper for me.
Exactly. I'll be the easy one. I'll take one step. The problem with your podcast being reviewing something that's 20 plus years old. Nobody's giving you screeners because it's done.
No one's giving you screeners for Enterprise.
No screeners for Enterprise for me. One of the things I really liked about this opening scene of the second part, and I mean, every time I watched it, I never watched it as 2 parts. Like, maybe at some point down the line, I will pause in there, but I have yet to have the self-control to do that. But I liked how they showed what it looked like when the Loom started coming through from Solum. Like, because that's a different perspective than it is from up in the ships. Like, they knew something bad was going down, and like you hear the sirens and like the people are running, and that was just a really interesting counterpoint because it's just as scary and bad and life altering for them down there as it is up on the planet. Like that, this is where all those wormholes are being generated from. So I liked that little bit of literally keeping it grounded in there and showing like not everybody's involved in making this happen, but they're all involved in what is happening.
Yes.
Yeah.
And as they go through those loom, like I was saying before, the fact that like some of them are just bouncing off the windows on the protostar.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, it gives me the heebie-jeebies because like they can come through that if they wanted to. Like if they just wanted a snack on the way to the big feast, they just it was the sound of those bumps that I'm just like, oh no, that was a sensory reaction from my gut right there.
Yeah, I just want to make a call out to the quality of animation in this show.
Yes.
Specifically, this is extremely minor and does not matter in the slightest. But at 5 minutes and 45 seconds into episode 2, you get a close-up of Janeway's clenched fist on the arm of her chair. There is text on the Elcar's buttons next to her hand.
That's amazing.
Wow.
Yeah. And not only that, but because it's such a close-up, you can also see the lining of her jacket is a slightly different shade of red from the outside of the jacket. Like, these are details that did not need to be animated.
Yeah.
But they add so much.
Because the people who do this know they're the type of people who pay attention to those types of things.
Yeah.
So, we have fans creating things now, and that's one of the reasons we get all this wonderfulness.
Yeah. And people who want to make it the best it can possibly be. Because I heard an interview with somebody who said that they did animation before there was 4K and then after as well. And he goes, I am constantly thinking now, since I saw what I did before 4K to now, how I want my animation to be the best it could possibly be for right now, because there will be another revolution in how we watch or see things. And the best, the better I do it now, the better it will hold up whenever that better looking thing comes around. And I was like, you know what? That's really true. So like, they are putting in these details. Cause how many times have we said, going back to like, the TOS movies, like, ooh, high def was a lot for that. Like you see things that you were never meant to see. So they're now anticipating the next revolution of being able to see things that you won't be able to see. So that's just cool. And dedicated.
Well, minor caveat there. The show, yes. The movies, not so much, because they were on film. So they would have been, in the theater, would have been as clear as high definition is today.
Okay, true. But the shows. Yes, the shows.
Yeah, and there's just... the animation just in general, there's so much detail, and it's just so beautifully done. I just really love this show.
Yeah. Well, and the fact that they're having trouble, their navigation is going, and they call back down to cetacean ops to navigate them. Like that. This is them not just having them there for all of us nerds who went, there's been cetacean ops forever, and now we finally get to see them, and I love it. This is like, this is why you have cetacean ops, because guess what? When this doesn't work, you got a whale down there who can take you where you need to go. Like this is amazing. And so cool to look at, and such. My girls absolutely love the idea of it, and they are so fascinated by, like, does water make you think about space differently? Because sound is different underwater, and it's making them think sciencey stuff, which is always making me happy. So they really liked that part too. Going back and seeing Jillian again was just a little cherry that didn't need to be there, but it was perfect because it was. Yeah.
I love that stuff.
Well, and the music in this scene as they go back through, and the temporal echoes and all that. Nami Melamund is a genius. I hope this season soundtrack comes out as completely as the last one did, with like 5 volumes. I want all of it. And any time that you're ready, like it's been a long time since we had some new Star Trek music. And I know that, I think it was on the 7th rule that Nami said that she thinks Strange New Worlds comes out in August, season 2. So hopefully, because I'm really wanting a lot of the new Star Trek music that hasn't been available yet. And Prodigy season 2 is right up there with injected into my veins.
Really annoyed at the whole Strange New Worlds takes a year for their soundtracks to come out thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Especially since we know they can do it the next day if they want to, because they did that with Space Rhapsody. So,
yep.
Yeah. I need to be able to play live.
I remember being annoyed at the time. I remember being annoyed for like the 12 hours between when Subspace Rhapsody came out and when they announced the soundtrack was coming, though. Because I thought it would drop immediately, and it didn't. So then I'm like, are they going to drop one at all? They better drop a soundtrack.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. Yeah.
I missed that part because I was in the woods and I knew this was coming. So I made sure that the next day we went somewhere that I had signal, and I might have downloaded both of them and then listened to the 10 at night. I'm like, I don't do a lot. We don't leave and go to town, but we're going to town that day because I need to.
Yeah.
Speaking of Strange New Worlds and musicals, one other thing, little tidbit that came out of SDCC was that Akiva Goldsman said that a possible stage production of Strange New Worlds is in the works.
That would be amazing.
I missed that.
Musical stage production.
Yeah.
So wherever that is, however much it costs, I'm going to be there,
you'll be
I'm going to watch it, and it's going to be amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Just flat out yes.
Yep.
Anyway, so Voyager and the Protostar go into the wormhole together, and we see temporal echoes of everything that's happening.
That's
the timeline is reintegrating.
Yeah.
Yep.
Beautiful.
We have Janeway backed up to the backup module, so she's not going anywhere. Well, she is going somewhere. That's the whole point.
Yeah. She's sticking around this time.
Yep. And they all leave the Protostar set on autopilot, and the last thing that happens is Dal leaves his comm badge for that self-fulfilling prophecy, that predestination paradox, that it's actually the same comm badge that he had picked. That same comm badge is the one that he had picked up from the Protostar, which is amazing.
It is so beautiful. Such a perfect thing that it was Dal. Because we've been with him on the journey since the first moments here, and he has grown arguably more than anybody else. Like, he really has found himself, and to do that and to be almost taking care of his younger pre-adventure self was really a beautiful moment. And that, I don't know how you guys all feel about the montage after, but I loved it. I'm not always like the biggest like retrospective montage person, but I think they picked the right moments. I think they picked the right voiceover. I think they did a lot of the things that were touching, but also the things that were funny. Like, my girls love that they highlighted Gwyn with the whipped cream in her mouth in the montage, because that is one of their favorite moments ever. Like, it was well done and touching and well-rounded, and it felt like a loop then. You felt that circle coming back to the beginning, and I just think that was just beautifully done. Montages don't always work that way. This one did what it was intended to do.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it was great. I love that we saw the Endopresians and the whole thing was awesome.
Well, and I think they were very conscious that they didn't know if there was going to be more. So again, this was like the highlight reel, the really, really quick highlight reel that if you've watched it, you're like, oh yeah, that one and that one and that one and that hug and that moment and that smile. And yeah, so it was well picked, well played.
Also, can anyone honestly say that they've never eaten whipped cream like that?
I don't really care for whipped cream, so it's not my jam, but even I've done that. So
yeah, I was gonna say I'm not big on whipped cream, but I have done that. Who hasn't?
I know, exactly. Maybe that's a very American thing, because I'm not sure whipped cream comes like that anywhere but here, but I appreciate
that. That's possible.
What kind of crazy person whips cream? think it was actually lunatic whipped cream. Either way,
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
It was.
Yep, and we see the protostar there. We see it's just great. We see Rock touching the combat.
Mm-hmm.
All the loom disappear because the timeline is restored. There is no paradox anymore.
Adios, little squid guys. That's when my girls are cheering. They're like, "Yes, go away!" They did it. They were 100% invested this whole time, like clutching and leaning forward with big eyes and tears. Like this really worked for them, which is so gratifying to see.
Yeah, and the Valnakat are now at peace and okay with Starfleet, so that's good. We're tying everything up into a nice little bow. Everything is a happy ending until...
Well, don't forget you get your Generations call back in there, where Janeway's talking. She says, "A friend once said," and you're like, "Yeah, it was Jean-Luc Picard talking about time after the whole Generations thing," but it's just for us. So I liked that. I mean, it wasn't a direct quote, but it was obviously that little.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we do have the excellent scene where Wesley calls his mom.
Yeah. I screeched so loud. It was so perfect. And like Will Wheaton lets his voice break like it did when he was young Wesley, when he says, "I'm here, Mom." And like that broke me. Like, and I can't believe they recorded those not with each other. Like they each went into the booth and recorded those lines.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Separately. I heard Will Wheaton talking about it in an interview, but he said, we are so connected and we are like family. So he's like, I could imagine exactly how she was going to say it, and I wasn't far off. Like, but what a wonderful moment. And I love that Wesley met Jack. Like, that makes me so happy. And so many more possibilities right there because he's aware, and that time travel makes a lot of things possible. It's very, very cool. And I like that we get to see Crusher as a mom. Like, that's always a part of her, that it was there, and it was what people said, "Oh yeah, she's the mom, she's the doctor," but you didn't actually see her mothering that often. He always went to one of the men, which was very much of the time and something that she brought up, and then, went to Starfleet Medical for a year and came back. But both of them have such a great, warm relationship in real life as people that just comes through even in animation as their characters. Like, this is family. And that was just such a beautiful moment. And my girls are both like, "Well, what does Jack look like?" And I'm like, "Well, I can show you him as a grown-up." They're like, "Well, what does he look like as a kid?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I can show you a silhouette from a memory, but we don't know."
That's a picture of the kid.
Yeah.
The actor as a kid.
Exactly.
But yeah, I love that. And as I've said a number of times, that just brings me back to the scene in Coda that is so heartbreaking, and it's the opposite of that, and I love it. So.
Yeah.
Well, and it brings a lot more meaning to the scene in Picard where Beverly and Picard are standing by the window, and Jack's just gone off, and she's talking about how she lost Wesley, and we know that she's seen him, more recently than what we thought before, but she still loses him to the stars because he can't stay. And like, that adds a whole nother layer there too, which is really nice. All right. And now it seemed like a happy ending, but...
Yes. Oh, yeah, we do get another scene with Dr. Aaron introducing temporal mechanics.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
I love it. My girls every time, "Dr. Aaron!" It's so wonderful.
Dr. Aaron said we could.
Yep, and we see Zero and Magel basically making out.
Yeah.
Yep. Scandalous.
That's funny.
And... in retrospect, I should have known, with the Happy First Contact Day behind them, what was about to happen.
Oh, see, I caught that, and I thought that I saw that before, or thought that when I saw it. So, because I was like, "Oh, they're not going to do that." Oh, they did.
See, but
it wasn't until they showed the actual shots from Mars that I'm like, "Oh, okay."
See, but I think it's important because we got to see what actually did happen to the Academy, and we got to see not just Picard's pissed off they accepted my resignation feeling on what went down. But you get to see Janeway's actually arguing, no, we can't do this. We shouldn't do this. This is against our mission. And she makes a little headway. So you see that everything that happens at the very end is because she pushed that mission. It wasn't just, Picard. There were plenty of voices in there. They just didn't win in the way that we knew, but now we know that they still did have little tendrils out there. And that is important too. And I think it's really important for kids to see, like, the world changes. Life happens no matter what your plan is. And sometimes that radically changes things, but that doesn't mean that you give up on your hopes and your dreams. You just reframe them. And that is, that's life. And the world we live in now, they are going to live through things. Like, they just are. There's no way to go through life and not have big things happen. And so it's nice to see in this, world where everything wraps up nicely. Well, it didn't quite wrap up perfectly nicely, but you can still find the positives and the happies and do the best that you can do, even if the world around you seems to be on fire.
Yeah. Yeah. There's another layer. If Jellicoe is the one that Picard was going up against, there's just a whole other layer.
Oh,
there.
that too. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, okay. The character is consistent. Well, he is very consistent.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Not my favorite thing for him to be consistent on, but he is consistent.
Yep.
I love how Janeway retires.
Mm-hmm.
That's not something I was expecting.
Yeah.
No, but I can see her ready for, like, the next thing. After it feels like everybody else is getting a next thing. Maybe she wants a next thing, and maybe she's writing her memoirs. Maybe I can see her pursuing other things in that time. We know she gardens, and I'm sorry, like, later on, this was probably 5th or 6th rewatch, right? But when she's gardening later on, when Chakotay comes to pick her up and she's wearing her gardening gloves, right? Did these stand out to anybody else? They're purple with like yellow stitching. They look like the Crown Royale bags.
Yes, they do.
They really, really do.
They absolutely do. I'm looking at them right now. Yep, I see that now. They do have Crown Royal bags.
I am not a fan of Crown Royale, but like I have been around.
Yeah, me neither.
Enough to have seen those bags, and I'm sorry, her gloves are Crown Royale bags. And that takes nothing away. It was just an observation I will never unsee now. So, I had to share it with everybody out there.
Well, those are infinitely reusable.
Yeah.
They work well as dice bags.
Yeah. Yeah.
I am not saying that they are not fantastic. They just look like her gloves, or her gloves look like them, whichever way you want that to go. But I also have to say in here, I thought of you, Thad, when they were talking about the comm badges, and I'm like, that line was thrown in there for Aaron Mulkey and Thad, who are looking at comm badges. Well, that and all of the uniform variations in this one, too. I was like, ooh, somewhere in the universe where there is Thad going, I need that, I need that, I need that.
Yeah, and I love that we get that they show the uniform that we got from the flashback in Picard. That all the admirals are wearing that now.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Though I do agree with what you were saying before, Chrissy, that they can't make all the comm badges, but somehow they can all get uniforms. But maybe that's a technology thing. Like, maybe it's easier to replicate a cotton blend or whatever it is, than it is
I'm just assuming there was a stylistic choice. I'm just assuming there was a stylistic choice to use the different comm badge with this uniform.
That could be too.
Yeah, but they say, okay.
Nothing ever happens as a rollout to everybody at exactly the same time. We've all lived through that enough times.
All of it makes more sense than Voyager getting new phasers and tricorders a year into their Delta Quadrant sojourn.
Yep. And constantly having more torpedoes and shuttles from some magic little corner.
Than they should have, yeah.
Well, no, okay. My headcanon is that Prodigy explains that.
With the vehicle replicator?
Yeah.
The vehicle replicator explains how they get as many shuttlecraft as they want. But because they're using so much energy for that, that's why they're always on replicator rations and can't make. So we have this situation where, you know, Harry Kim goes into the mess hall and Neelix says, "Sorry, Harry, you can't. You're gonna have to have my stew. Chakotay crashed another shuttle or something like that."
It's time for the hair pasta. Okay, I can go with that. I can go with that.
Mm-hmm.
That makes it makes more sense than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, this ending is kind of perfect. They set it all up, right? They're going to they get called to the emergency call to go see Janeway, and she's got them set up on a training ship with Hollow Janeway, who remembers everything except that one conversation. And and they're ready to
she's
go.
Been told about that, so it's fine.
Yeah, exactly. I love it. I love the new Protostar class. I love 2 chairs, and like that bit of conversation that Dell saw on the time stream coming back around to him in that way was so beautiful. And my older one really liked that. She goes, "See, Dal, you don't know what it means until you get there." And I was like, yeah, exactly. So, and Gwyn has always really resonated with me and with my girls. I mean, Rock and Gwyn, they're smart, capable, amazingly brilliant, brave young women. And to see her get to sit in the, I mean, she's led missions in this season already, but to see her sit there and to have, you know, let's reach for the stars. That's a great catchphrase. Why has nobody done that one yet? That's a beautiful one. Like this was such an uplifting, glorious moment. I love the new uniforms, even though I guess Murph has just been hanging out in the academy naked all the time. I mean, he hasn't had a uniform until now.
It's like he doesn't have a uniform, but you know, maybe he needed like a special uniform. Maybe he's he's shapeshiftery. Maybe that's like Odo's uniform. It's
it's part of him.
It's part of him. Okay.
Yeah.
Either that, or when he needs to get really stretchy, he just busts through it and it doesn't matter, like the Hulk kind of thing. Like either way, that could be kind of fun. I mean, he doesn't need anything on. We know that from these seasons. So, but I loved that wrap up. I loved seeing them. Have said, "You don't have to steal the ship. You've earned it." Like that has been what everybody on the creative side has said. This is what this season is about. They're earning a ship. They're going through it. They're learning, and that just what a beautiful way to spell it out and to actually say it. Like, hey, yeah, look, you earned this because you were brave and selfless, and you did all these things, and so yeah. Here you go. Like I love. Is it completely realistic to send a bunch of newly minted ensigns out on this state-of-the-art science ship? Yeah, but it was the right way to end this show that has had so many deep emotional moments with this burst of high at the end. Like you go out of this with endorphins high, and it's awesome. And now my girls are going around going, ensign is spelled dumb, because they're trying to like write down these stories that they've, and they're like, ensign isn't spelled like it should be spelled. And I'm like, well, okay, you're right. There's that G.
Ensign.
Yeah, exactly. But
Ensign.
they love it. And then they made me go and tell them the whole thing. Like, well, what's above ensign? What's below ensign? And like, what's a human? Like, it's just funny to hear these words becoming part of their vocabulary because they care about it.
Did you explain to them that lieutenant is pronounced lieutenant some places?
Yeah, I did, actually. I did, because I'm a nerd.
If you think ensign is spelled weird.
Yeah. Well, and we're getting to the point with both of them where they're becoming good readers and writers, and they're realizing that English doesn't make sense often. And they'll be like, yeah, this is one of those times the vowels are dumb. And I'm like, yeah, they don't follow the rules. You're right. Like, welcome to English. This is the rest of your life.
Yep. It's a Germanic language being held hostage by Latin. I think is the line.
There you go.
All right. Well, that's a wrap on Prodigy Season 2.
More, please.
Yeah,
really.
I think we literally spent slightly longer talking about the news than we did about the last 2 episodes of Prodigy, but that's okay.
Well,
okay, but it
was only 2 episodes, and it was a pretty straightforward thing. Sorry, you started to say.
I was just going to say, but you know what? I felt like I really had to like cram to get 5 in the last time. So this was a nice moderation, a nice. We really could have talked for like 5 hours about 5 episodes, but
yeah,
we could have.
Life
yeah.
and people then like the downloads in their podcast player, and they're like, oh wow, this is a marathon. I'm pretty sure there's people out there who say that every time I talk to you.
We did actually get at least one person comment like, oh, 2.5 hours. I'm going to have to find some time.
Yes, you will. And it'll be worth it.
Yes.
I hope.
Well, but then they were very excited because they didn't have much to do at work that day.
Oh, well,
I remember correctly.
Good. I'm
so
glad.
It worked out.
Yeah, we have some people that every time First Flight drops an episode, they're like, ooh, my work playlist for today. And then they're like, I'm like, wow, I don't know what you do, but I'm really envious that you get to listen to all that at work. And I'm glad I'm making your work day better. Like maybe they're a trucker or something. I don't know. So, I mean.
Yeah.
Oh.
I miss the days when I worked in receiving at the bookstore.
I mean, I watch a lot. I have a lot of YouTube video essays on in the background when I'm working.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I
can't do that. I can do that for some things, but not others. Yeah.
I mean, there's plenty of people. Think about people. I know our mail carrier says that she listens to like 4 or 5 audiobooks a week as she drives her little truck around and puts all that in the mail. So that's cool. I mean, there are plenty of jobs.
I used to do that when I worked as a baker overnight. I would go through lots of audiobooks and podcasts. And this was back in the days when you had to download the podcasts on your computer and put them onto an
iPod, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's worth it. Audio is a good medium, you know? Like I really hope that Star Trek does expand more into the audio medium because they've done little forays here and there. They need to bring back that official podcast that was pretty awesome. But
I love that.
Yeah, it is such an accessible medium for so many people now, and it doesn't have to be as time sensitive. So there's so many opportunities out there. Thank you for all of you who are listening to us in audio format right now.
Oh yes.
And if you're experiencing us in some other way, I'm very curious how you did that.
Yeah.
500 years from now, they have created a holographic podcast studio and used images of us that existed.
The Ferengi have time traveled, and they're live streaming us all the time to the whole universe.
They've converted us into a series of pheromones for Species 10C.
Oh.
Now
I'd like to know what my combination would be.
Sense.
Like that would be kind of cool, you know?
That would be, yeah. There's some intensity there.
Yeah.
From all of us.
I have never claimed to not be an intense person. Like that is never my claim.
When it comes to Star Trek, I'm always intense.
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, very much so.
All right. Well, anyone have anything else they want to say about Prodigy Season 2 before we wrap this up?
I pretty much just think
Season 3.
Yeah, we need Season 3 and they obviously set it up for a movie, a Season 3, more to come. Novels, even comic books, like keep them going for these kids who have found and loved these characters. And even if there's just, I mean, I have the 3 books they put out. I've read them with my girls. They love them. But comic books graphic novels are such a big thing with young readers these days. They could do 1,000 adventures and they would get read a lot. So fingers crossed. And you know what? I will say what I said at the beginning again. I feel like this season of Star Trek holds up against any other season of Star Trek very well. Like this is a well-written, well thought out, well-paced, well-acted, absolutely gorgeous, wonderfully music, fits in canon in a beautiful puzzle-like way. And, it's up there with one of my very favorite seasons of all Trek. So if you haven't watched all of it and you're listening to this, I don't know what you're doing, but go back and watch it again.
Yeah.
Keep those numbers up.
Yeah, there was a tweet going around, I think it was last week. It was rank the new Star Trek series in your and I put Prodigy at I think number 3, which before this season it would have been lower.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
See, I have a hard time, and I've said this in a million places, but judging a story until it's complete. Like, I don't know where I would put Lower Decks yet because I haven't seen the ending, like, or what we think is the ending now. Like, I know, and it is, yes, but like, I don't want to judge Strange New Worlds yet. I don't know what's coming in season 3. Obviously, we've talked about that today already. Like, I can judge Picard. I can judge Discovery now, and like we did on my pod, we did a bonus episode covering like the series and like what we thought. But it's hard to know because think about how much your thoughts have changed on Prodigy since just because of this season. Oh, yeah. It's amazing.
And I would say, and that's why it specifically was, as it stands now,
right.
My ranking. Yes. Once, I highly doubt season 5 of Lower Decks will change the fact that Lower Decks is in the number 1 spot for me, but...
Is that of all Trek or just New Trek? Because that's a hard question.
New Trek, it's number 2 for all Trek.
That's fair. Well, and then you have to talk about what is your favorite versus what do you think is the best? Because I think oftentimes they're the same, but not always. Like my favorite, my favorite movie is Generations, and that is not the best movie. I know that, but it's my favorite for a lot of personal reasons. And you know, that's part of what factors that into. My lists would be different if I was looking at like for the world or for myself.
Well, my favorite Star Trek novel is The Return, ostensibly by William Shatner. It is not in any way the best Star Trek novel, but I love it.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. Anyway, Prodigy's awesome. Bring it on more, please.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Alex, we know you're listening. Come on.
I have no doubt he would if he could.
Yeah, I wouldn't be amazed if Alex listens to this. I know Aaron does. And
Bernadette Croft does. Open Pike found that out, yeah.
Does she listen to like all the podcasts? Or
a lot of them, yes. When she was rattling stuff off to them that she listens to, it was in there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And I know the Hagemans are at least aware we exist, so they may have listened to us as well.
Well, obviously, when the people in charge need to know why people love Prodigy, there are plenty of places out there to hear it, but this is one of them.
And I have to imagine there's someone at Paramount that listens to every show they give screeners to.
I would hope so. That is a smart move. Just saying.
I don't know about that.
They at least have an AI running through for summaries, right?
Yeah, if you call it woke too many times, you no longer get the screeners or something.
Ping! Check mark.
Yeah.
Abby, thank you so much for joining us today. Where can listeners find you online? Do you have any work you want to mention?
All right. Well, first of all, thank you for letting me come on and bookend Prodigy with you. It has been joyous to talk with you guys and to get to throw my thoughts out there to the universe and to get to talk about how much I've enjoyed doing this with my kids. It's really nice to have this platform, and this discussion is always a joy with you guys. So thank you very much for that. Oh. And if you want to hear me talk more, obviously I'm around. But if you want to find me online, the best place is still Twitter or Blue Sky. I'm at Abby M. Sommer. That's SOMMER, not like the season. And I do a podcast you've heard me mention a couple times in here with my wonderful co-host, Chris. And we are looking at Enterprise, which is a special series for me and for him as well. And we are going through every episode in order, deep diving, reviewing it, laughing about it. Like Thad gets mentioned in it more times than I can shake a stick at, which is funny. But then we're called First Flight Pod. We're about a third of the way through season 3, so we're really getting into some meaty stuff right now. And you can find us First Flight Pod on all of the players of choice, and we're on all the socials that we can think of, including Threads, which occasionally someone pops us up on. So there we go.
Threads is weird because it throws your content in front of like everyone, because it's got like that discovering algorithm. So like I get way more conversation from people I have never interacted before in my life on Threads, for good or ill. Because a lot of that is like random people who just want to go on the internet and insult people. But anyway, Chrissy, where can people find you when you're not gardening with Crown Royal bags.
Sorry, not sorry for that in the universe, because it's so true.
No, I love it. I'm trying to think, like, you could use that for small seedlings to put around the root ball, maybe, and I don't know what kind of cloth.
Yeah, the water would get through it. Yeah.
Anyway, right. So, in addition to here on Infinite Diversity, we also have History with the Szilagys here on the BQN. That's that short history podcast I do with my fellow historian partner, Jason. And I'm also happy to chat about our shows in the BQN Collective on Facebook. And I'm on the various socials as the Goddess Livia. That's TheGoddessLivia. And there you can see my opinions about Star Trek history and leftist politics. Thad, where can people find you when you're not giving encouragement to your friends and colleagues with a glowy face?
Do that as often as you want, by the way. That's really cool.
It depends on how much I've been sweating, I guess. You can find me on Twitter and Blue Sky at Tyrannicus. That's TYRANICUS. You can also find me less actively on like a million other socials with the same username. And you can hear me on the podcast I do with my friend Carl called License to Spiel, licensed with a C like the British do it, where we talk about movies and TV shows that we watch.
Don't forget all of our other great shows here on the BQN. Here's a recording of Amy Nelson to tell you all about them.
What shows are on BQN, you ask? Well, here's a rundown of some podcasts you might be interested in. All Good Things, a Star Trek Universe podcast covering all of Trek, hosted by Amy, Mark, Christos, Kelvin, and Kristen. Whether you've got Xbox or Nintendo, check out Bargain Bin Gamer, a YouTube show hosted by Davey, a self-proclaimed gamer who specializes in reviewing and showcasing affordable video games. 2 episodes enter the arena, 1 comes out victorious. Join hosts Joe and Kevin, and a guest, as they debate which should win the Batleth battle. Grab your popcorn as you listen to Cinema Z, a film discussion and review podcast showcasing films you probably missed, but should definitely check out. Hosted by Mark and Matt. Don your apron for The Food Replicator, where Matthew eats and drinks his way through the Star Trek cocktail and 3 cookbooks. Beam Aboard Galaxy Class, a Star Trek Next Generation podcast covering all of TNG, hosted by Steven. In order to not repeat it, listen to History with the Szilagys, a snippet of historical events from around the world, hosted by Chrissie and Jason. For the newest Trek coverage, check out Infinite Diversity, hosted by Chrissie and Thad. Curl up with a good book and delve into Beta Canon with Peter, host of the online Trek Book Club on Twitter, and his new companion, Trek Book Club podcast. Test your Trek knowledge with Treksperts Quiz, a Star Trek quiz show hosted and written by Davey. Whether you're a member of Starfleet Federation or Planetary Union, go check out Union Federation, covering current Star Trek and the Orville, which we all know is really a Trek show, hosted by Kyle, Kevin, Amy, and Haley. Head over to YouTube and watch The View Screen live on Sundays, your Trek-inspired talk show hosted by Kelvin and Amy, with Season 2 starting in September for a 10-week run. Spill the tea with Christos while he discusses current Trek news and events and explores the world of fandom via guest interviews, all with a LGBTQIA+ perspective on What's the Tea Bab. And for our Patreon members, we have The Hive Mind with monthly script readings, Let's Fly, a Discovery reaction show, It's Green, a cornucopia of topics, Amy's Math Moments, a quick look at math moments in Star Trek. We know you have a choice of podcasts to choose from, and we thank you for listening to BQN. Assimilate the audio.
Thank you very much for tuning into Infinite Diversity. Thank you to Zach Tripp for the wonderful theme music and Mark White for the awesome show art. Please subscribe in your favorite podcast player, and don't forget to rate and review us there as well.
And if you'd like to reach out, you can find the network on the socials, except Twitter at this point, at BQN Podcasts, or our show specifically at IDIC Podcast. You can also talk about any and all of the BQN podcasts in our Facebook group and on the Discord server. When you next hear from us, we'll be talking about whatever Trek comes next. Until then, we bid you peace and long life.
All I have to say about Paw Patrol is ACAB.
Yeah. Yep. ACAB,
Yeah.
even the little puppy? Yes, even the little puppy.
ACAB means Paw Patrol
Odo.
too. Yes. And
Yep.
Odo. Yes,
Yep.
also, and Odo is absolutely, like, there are so many times when he goes way beyond what he should be doing as a cop. ACAB absolutely means Odo.
There we go.
That shouldn't even be controversial. And I love the character of Odo,
Yeah.
but
Oh, yeah. That doesn't mean he's... Yeah. Have you seen the memes going around for the ACAB crowd is backing a prosecutor and the crime or
and the Law and Order
is
crowd are backing a felon?
Yeah.
Yes, I love it.
Again,
Mhm.
it's true.
Mm-hmm. I just love that all of the he's too old arguments can now be thrown back in their face.
Yup. It's nice to see some fire turned around the other direction.
Scully would absolutely vote for Harris. I don't know about Mulder. He might do
He's
like
still
some
on it.
fringe third-party candidate.
Mulder's always third party, or he doesn't vote at all.
Mhm.
You know, I
Probably liked Bernie.
yeah.
Mulder
Oh,
would have been
probably.
all in on Bernie. That's, but Mulder
them,
also would probably have this theory that Bernie is some sort of alien.
Yeah, well, he might be. Maybe he's a lanthanite, right?
Maybe that works for me.
I can totally
Oh,
picture
I
Bernie
love-
Sanders being a lanthanite, by the way. Like, that
Yes.
could become my new
Yeah.
headcanon.
Yeah, be like.
Anyways.